So your friend couldn't come tonight?
By friend, of course, you were talking about.
Your special friend.
Sam, does she mean
My special friend.
What special friend?
his special friend that Zoe can't know about?
The hooker.
Okay, she's not a hooker. She's a call girl. And how do you know about this?
Mallory told me.
How does Mallory know about that?
I told her.
You told our boss's daughter that you slept with a call girl?
I didn't know she was Leo's daughter at the time. I thought she was a school teacher who came in with her class.
So you thought you were telling a complete stranger that you slept with a call girl?
Accidentally. Slept with the call girl. Mallory. Is your father know?
No.
Zoe? Does your father know?
Not yet.
Oh, so this is gonna be a thing.
Zoe and I have decided that it's time we start collecting IOUs.
She didn't bring my grasshopper.
She didn't?
No.
Maybe she just felt really stupid ordering it.
The grasshopper is a perfectly respectable...
I'll get it.
I'll get it.
I want to see them make it. Could you hold these?
What?
It's just lipstick and stuff. My panic button ruins the line of my outfit.
Got it.
It's called the grasshopper.
Straight up.
Make sure they make it extra thick and green. What is a panic button?
Oh, you don't want to know. I've seen it in action.
The president is a very protective father.
So you having a good time tonight?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Seems like you're not really having a good time.
He's having a good time.
Well, you think they know I don't go to college?
Who?
All these people.
Charlie, you're twice as smart as anyone in the room.
Yeah, but I don't go to college.
Relax.
See, you keep telling him to relax with a sense of urgency.
I just want to make sure he's having a good time tonight.
He's having a good time. You relax.
Being urgent.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi. What's your name?
What?
I said, what's your name?
You're kidding, right?
Hey, you just asked him
No.
for your name.
I'm
Wait. Why don't we guess your name? All right?
sure.
All right, because I bet we can guess it.
I wouldn't say that there was urgency in my voice. I was simply asking if he was having a good time and suggesting that if you relax.
Maybe if you stop pestering him like you're his great aunt Ida.
Excuse me a
You know
second.
what I'm saying?
It's Cassandra.
Ah, come on.
You're gonna guess it. You just ruined it.
Is everything all right, Zoe?
Hey, you just called her Zoe.
Come on, let's go back to the table.
Whoa. What's up, Sammy?
Zoe,
Whoa, excuse me. Hey, we're trying to buy a girl a drink here, man.
she's 19 years old, man. You'd have to take her to Maryland.
Check out Superfly.
Let's go.
No? Why don't you go, all right?
Look, guys, you don't know who this is. You don't want any trouble. Be cool, all right?
Be cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm looking out for you.
I know what you're saying. You just want me to be cool, all right?
Let me buy you guys around.
Like LL Cool J, man. Like Ice T.
Ice Cube, Ice Tray, man.
Why must you mock a perfectly natural, brotherly
I'm
instinct?
not mocking it, Josh. I'm saying maybe if you left the young man alone. Josh,
I know.
Why don't you do some of that hip hop for us, G-Funk? Dr. Huffy Puffy Dread, man. Dr. Doolittle, man.
Would you let us buy, please?
You know, no. You know, what are you doing here with this girl? Huh? Because you know what, to me, you look to be Dr.
Hey, what the hell's going on around here?
Who the hell are you?
Hey, kiss my ass. Zoe?
I'm fine.
Kiss your what, Fairy Poppins?
Charlie?
Everything's fine.
Hey, you want to go?
What?
You want to go? Let's do it right now.
How's
Come on.
everybody doing?
Oh, good. More fairy boys.
Excuse me?
I said more fairy boys.
Oh, this is too good to be true.
Hey, I recognize this guy. Yeah, and she looks familiar, too.
Yeah, you guys don't realize it, but you're having a pretty bad night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's going to give it to us, huh?
Federal agent! Federal agent!
Go. Let's go.
Right here.
All right. Whoa, all right.
Shut up! I swear to God, I'll blow your head off.
Everybody stand back.
No, I ain't done with you, Sammy.
My name is Charlie Young, jackass. If that bulge in your pocket's an 8-ball blow, you're spending spring break in a federal prison. Now I'm having a good time.
Well, my work here is done.
I think he's trying to drive a wedge between us.
It worked.
Sam, CJ's doing the Jackal.
I'll be right there.
I thought we had something going on,
We
Sam.
do.
And yet you haven't told me that you favor school vouchers.
First of all, hang on. We haven't been on a date yet.
I am saying
And
that
what
I
kind
cannot...
of dates have you had that you're amazed that this hasn't come up?
I'm a public school teacher.
Seriously, the other guys, they order drinks and they say, before we go any further, I'd
Are
like
you
you to
gonna
know my
have a
position on
serious
school
conversation
vouchers.
with me about this?
No.
No?
No, because you know why? Because I am off duty. Toby and I have spent the last 3 months putting a guy on the bench, and the sun has set, and I've earned my government salary, and then some. I'm done working, and we haven't been out on a date, and that's supposed to be tonight. Now, we're gonna go in there, and we're gonna watch CJ do the Jackal. And believe me, if you haven't seen CJ do the Jackal, then you haven't seen Shakespeare the way it's meant to be done. We're gonna watch CJ do the Jackal, then we're gonna get a late dinner, after which I may or may not kiss you goodnight. Because there is something going on between us, Mallory, but frankly, I don't think you're doing a very good job on your part, so I've decided to take over.
You're taking over.
Yes, let's go.
Not much chance.
I didn't think so, but you gotta give me credit for trying.
Good night there, Skipper.
Apparently you don't have to give me credit for trying.
He was back Friday afternoon martini, chilling at a 5:15. Twist of lime, coke on the side. The brother loved the high life. Had a PhD in street strife. They called him the Jackal. The Jackal.
Little speed bump with Jeff Brackenridge. Leo gave it to me because he thinks you're burned out on Mendoza. I told him I thought that was ridiculous. What do you think?
Are you talking to me during the Jackal?
I was just...
Never talk to me during the Jackal?
Sure.
Black style, the diamonds in the back Cadillac, fur-lined boards, white wall wheels, cruise control, built for speed, chrome on everything. And the stereophonic speakers. But he really didn't need them when they called him the Jackal.
Hey.
Hey,
Jackal.
So Mallory read my position paper on school vouchers.
really?
Yeah.
I suppose she got a hold of that.
As it turns out, you gave it to her.
School vouchers are a very serious subject with Mallory.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
I don't mind you dating my only daughter, but you can't expect me not to have some fun along the way.
Mallory and I haven't actually been on a date yet.
Wow, you hang in there, son.
Was in the buttermilk. Hard, living fast, living large, 6'4", not an ounce of fat. When women ask, "Is you a frown cat?" he say, "My dear, I'm more than that. I'm the fronest of the frown." And in case you hadn't known, they call me the Jackal. The Jackal.
You did the Jackal?
What are you doing here so late?
I missed the Jackal.
I was on fire tonight.
Congratulations on Mendoza. That's gotta feel good.
It does.
So I'm home by myself, listening to my police scanner.
You have a police scanner?
Yes, I do.
Danny, you were like president of your high school audio-visual club, weren't you?
I was, in fact, not president of the AV club. I was vice president. Bobby Pfeiffer was president, and that's something I don't like to talk about.
Why'd you come down?
Josh said to come by for a drink.
You should have gotten here earlier.
I would have, except I was home listening to my police scanner.
What happened?
David Arbor was arrested outside a frat party. He's going to be charged with felony possession, possible intent to distribute.
Is there any chance David Arbor's not the son of Bob Arbor?
There's not any chance of that, no. Plus one other thing.
One other thing?
Yeah.
What?
Zoe was at the frat party.
Well, at least I know what I'll be doing when I come into work tomorrow.
Speaking of tomorrow, when you start handing out information, please remember I came down here at 1 in the morning to tell you this when there was no earthly reason I had to, and also that you're secretly in love with me.
Make sure you remind my office.
You could do the Jackal for me, right here, right now.
Go home.
Okay.
No, I'm asking you if you'd like to go together with me to see an internationally renowned opera company perform a work indigenous to its culture.
Right. And in what way will it distinguish itself from a date?
There will be, under no circumstances, sex for you at the end of the evening.
Okay.
So what do you say?
Well, like most people, I am an absolute nut for Chinese opera. Chinese being known the world over for their soaring and romantic melodies. And what with your guarantee that there won't be sex, I don't see how I could say no.
Good then. I'll come by and get you at about 7:30.
Yeah. And you know what's good about this? If you hadn't come along with your offer of Chinese opera and no sex, all I'd be doing later is watching Monday Night Football. So this works out great for me.
7:30.
Yes, indeed. Mallory had an extra ticket to the opera for tonight, and she asked me if I'd like to go.
Mallory who?
Mallory, your daughter.
Mallory, my daughter.
Yes.
Has asked you.
Yes.
To go to the opera using the tickets that used to belong to me and Mallory's mother.
Yes.
The woman who used to be my wife.
Leo, for whatever it's worth, she's made it very clear we won't be doing anything tonight you'd have a problem with.
Like what?
Why don't we stay away from that?
Best that we do.
So...
I'm fine, Sam.
You're fine?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Jenny and I aren't using them. Somebody should.
Thank you, Leo.
Go back to work, Sam.
Yeah.
Fine.
Excuse me, Mr. McGarry.
Charlie, call me Leo, would you?
I'll try, sir.
What do you need?
I've got a message from Nancy Becker's office. Tomorrow's the Deputy Transportation Secretary's 50th birthday. They're having a party, and the president usually likes to send a letter.
Yeah. Tell someone in the communications office. They'll give it to one of the staffers.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Nancy Becker needs it tonight.
Yes, sir.
Give it to Sam.
Yes, sir.
My shoes are shut.
Shut up.
This is something that came up, Mallory.
It's his 50th birthday, Sam. They couldn't have seen this coming for like the last 50 years.
Fair point.
I'm going home.
Don't go home. Stay here. Give me a half hour. I can come up with a new draft.
A new draft?
Yes.
You've already done a draft?
Yes.
You need to do more than one draft on a birthday card?
Birthday message, Mallory.
Sam.
Half hour. We'll get there by intermission. There'll be plenty of death and shrieking. Second act.
Hello?
Hey, baby.
Don't hey baby me, you addle-minded Machiavellian jerk.
Should I step out?
Sounds like it.
You gave him that idiot assignment on purpose.
Yes.
Why?
'Cause I felt like it.
Dad?
You know what, Mal? Your mom's got a genuine beef. I widowed her the day I took over the campaign. But I don't think I've done anything to you. Working in the White House doesn't allow any flexibility insofar as leisure time, as you've discovered this evening. I'm done being blamed by you for this.
So you make Sam write a birthday card?
A birthday message.
Why?
Just my sense of humor.
Hey, Mal.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Margaret. Hey, you all dressed up?
Yes, I am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, could you bring me the Chief of Staff schedule for today, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You look a little glum, Mallory. Did you have plans to go out this evening with someone who had to cancel due to circumstances beyond their control because they had made a commitment to a common and higher purpose?
You're a co-conspirator on this.
Oh, thank you, Margaret. These are just some of the things your father did today. He met with the director of the CIA and received an intelligence briefing regarding stores of plutonium in a country which, shall we just say, is not on our Christmas card list. He brokered a compromise among Senate Democrats for funding of something fairly trivial, but I can't remember quite what this was. Oh, yes, of course. The U.S. Army, yes. He met with my chief counsel to discuss the news that it's possible I've broken several federal laws in the week and may have to serve from 1 to 3 years in prison after resigning my office in disgrace. How'd that go, by the way?
We're fine.
Cool. He received a security briefing, a Central American briefing, and wrote a position paper. And he's been counseling me throughout the day on a bad decision I have to make. Oh, and by the way, this was a very light day.
Due respect, Mr. President. What's your point?
That's a perfectly fair question.
You know what, sir? I can take it from here.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm right next door.
Thank you.
Oh, my point is, give your dad a break.
So, I don't want to belabor the point, though. I do think that this is understandable. I feel a little self-conscious coming down the mountain on drugs 2 months after I announced I was a recovering drug addict. What do you think?
About what?
What I just said.
Well, I wasn't listening to a lot of it.
Sorry.
Leo, if there's anyone qualified to talk about the benefits of treatment versus criminal action, it's you. Is there anyone whose life would be better right now if you'd gone to jail instead of rehab?
No.
Thank you. Is there anything else? Apparently there is.
Mr. President.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I heard Leo was here. I assumed you were awake.
I am.
I hadn't seen you all day. I just wanted to apologize for the gaffe at the briefing last night.
You fixed it this afternoon, right?
Yeah.
And let's move on.
I do apologize, sir.
No need to apologize, but I accept your apology, and now I'm ready, if not eager, to move on.
Mr. President,
How you doing?
you were sleeping?
Not for a little while now.
Well, can I say this is great, Mr. President, because usually you have a hard time getting to sleep before 1 or 2.
Not tonight.
That's gotta feel good, sir.
Guys, let me tell you what I would like to have happen right now.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Josh walking in the door wasn't even close.
How you doing tonight?
I'm fine, thanks, Josh. How you doing?
Good. I gave Joey Lucas a coffee mug. She doesn't know anybody here, and she's already working hard. She's very committed. I think I did the right thing.
See, the part I don't understand is I got like 24 armed guards right outside my bedroom door.
Mr. President, after a day of meetings, are you any closer to a decision on drugs?
I'm a day closer. There'll be more meetings tomorrow. In the meantime, everybody calm down. Leo's got your engines fired like you're running Daytona. That's fine. Keep them there. Guess what? Mistakes are going to be made. Minimize them. Fix them. Move on. Kiefer's numbers got you scared? Listen to me. I have never lost an election in my life. We do this right, and people are going to respond. You all had a good day.
We should go live, you know.
Now, you guys should feel free to do this when my wife is here.
Sir, something has come up, and frankly, it's got me as hot as a piston. Apparently. We can talk about this tomorrow.
Everybody, Mandy was doing her job. It's time to let her out of the doghouse.
That's me.
She was doing her job. CJ,
Yes, sir.
so was Danny.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. President.
Good night, sir.
Mr. President,
We were almost done.
I met with Congresswoman Wyatt today.
When you were married to her, did you call her Congresswoman Wyatt?
No, sir.
Sometimes I call my wife Dr. Bartlet.
No, I call her Andy. Or, Andrea.
Okay.
Mandatory minimums.
You're whooped, my friend.
Sir.
No, she's been talking to you for a year about mandatory minimums. You've been saying no, but it looks like we know who wears the pants in the Ziegler family.
You call your wife Dr. Bartlett.
Just for the turn-on.
The thing is, she's right.
Andy.
Mandatory minimums are considerably higher for crack than for powder cocaine.
Yes.
The vast majority of crack users are black. The vast majority of drug users are white. The mandatory minimums are racist.
Yes, they are.
Should be part of the discussion.
And it will be.
Good. Good night.
Good night. I'm sleeping better. And when I sleep, I dream about a great discussion with experts and ideas and diction and energy and honesty. And when I wake up, I think, I can sell that.
Good night, Mr. President.
Good night.
Zoe's secure.
Get her again.
She wasn't hit, sir.
Get her on the radio, please.
Sir, she can't talk right now.
Why can't she talk?
She's vomiting in the car. It happens, sir. We'll be
Why
back.
she vomiting?
It happens. It could be shock.
Ron.
She might have gotten an elbow in the
Gina
stomach.
with her?
Gina put her in the car.
She's not with her.
She's got 2 other agents in the car. She's got Mike and Fred, sir. They're going to have her back in the White House.
Why isn't Gina in the car?
Gina put Zoe in the car, then stayed behind for the ID agent. Mr. President, please.
Is anybody dead back there?
We don't know. We don't think so.
What happened to your hand?
I got hit.
Oh, God. Coop, turn around. We got to go to the hospital.
We've got to get you to the
We're
White
going to the hospital. Let's go.
I have to put you inside the White House, Mr. President. This isn't something we discussed.
This is... My daughter is throwing up on the floor in the car behind us. You're losing blood by the liter, not to mention God knows how many broken bones you got in your hand. But let's make sure that I'm tucked in bed before we do anything.
Mr. President. TW! Move! Move! Move!
Hey, Leo.
Hey, kid.
I was just looking for my father.
He's making campaign calls.
He's not in the office.
He's making them from the residence.
Why?
Your father has a very strict interpretation of something called the Pendleton Act, which prohibits campaign donations to be solicited on government property.
It's a little impractical for the president to step across the street to use a payphone, isn't it?
Exactly.
Isn't the residence government property, too?
Yes.
Why?
Because your father is a demented man. I'm going over there.
Leo, these last few weeks, do you feel like Charlie is...
Nope.
Sir.
46%.
Yes, sir.
The guy is polling at 46%.
I didn't think they had polling data on people running for seats on the Board of Education.
They don't. I had to have our guys do it.
Sir, do you think you're becoming obsessed with this race?
He's polling at 46%. He's not a joke. He's polling inside the margin.
In a race for the Board of Education in a school district that has 43 kids.
It has 1,100 kids. And you don't take these people seriously because they don't get anywhere nationally, but they don't have to. All they have to do is bit by little bit get themselves on the boards of education and city councils, because that's where all the governing that really matters to anybody really happens.
We do a little governing here, Mr. President.
I'm on hold with a guy whose name I've got on an index card. How much governing do you think is going on around here today? And can you believe I'm on hold?
You're not, sir. You finished the call.
I did?
Yes, sir.
How'd it go?
Very well.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Elliot Roush is now polling at 46%.
How do you know?
I had our
people check.
I have 3 daughters who grew up in that school district.
Leave Elliot Roush alone, you beat him already.
And he has come back like crabgrass pulled from the lawn, not by the root, but by the other thing.
I stopped by to see how the calls are going.
They're going fine.
Then I'll leave.
Can't tell you how much I'm going to miss you. You wanted to talk to me?
Not if you're in this mood.
This is real. And a man who makes the Spanish Inquisition look like a Barbara Walters special is now polling at 46% in your school district, for which I have personally baked things to raise money. You can go, too.
You baked things?
You can go.
Thank you, Mr. President.
What do you want?
Dad, does he think that Charlie...
The calls are going well.
Good. Thanks.
Zoe said you were thinking about oncology.
Excuse me?
Zoe said you were thinking about oncology.
Yeah, or neurology.
He's just tied up in this meeting down the hall.
I'm fine.
He said she'd be back any minute.
I'm good, yeah.
You like medical school?
I do. I like my professors. I have a pathophysiology professor who teaches clinical skills by...
Eagle's moving.
Consumer cost per job saved. Retaliatory tariffs on steel imports are a disaster. Anyone wants to check my math, they're more than welcome to. Anybody who wants to shove the Golden Gate Bridge up Japan's ass, they're more than welcome to do that, too.
Mr. President.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ellie, thanks for coming.
Hi, Dad.
Come on in. Did you get down here okay?
Yeah.
Did you take an airplane?
An airplane?
Yeah.
No.
Helicopter?
No, the agents drove me.
That's because you go to school at Johns Hopkins, right?
Dad.
And Johns Hopkins is in Baltimore. I'm asking because Baltimore's a 45-minute car ride from Washington, D.C., and we hardly see you anymore. So I thought either you transferred to a different medical school, they moved Johns Hopkins, or they moved Baltimore. Are any of those things true?
No.
Okay, and this is accurate, right? This quote, "My father won't fire the Surgeon General. He would never do that."
Yes.
Eleanor, when you put your head down, your hair falls in your face, and I can't see your face, and I can't hear what you're saying. Now look at me and talk to me.
Yes, the quote is accurate.
What the hell are you doing talking to a reporter? I have set up monumental, unprecedented, unbreakable rules about my children in the press. I have gotten White House reporters transferred to Yemen for approaching Zoe and Elizabeth. It is the law. Well, I'm sure before you gave the quote, you cleared it with the communications office. I'm sure you went over the exact wording with C.J. Craig and coordinated it with White House strategy so that the timing was right in the news cycle. I'm certain you consulted the appropriate party leadership because you're a pretty knowledgeable operative, having spent so much time with me. Ellie?
Dad,
What?
she
What?
was
Pick your
doing.
head up.
She was doing exactly what she is supposed to do. I'm sorry. She was asked a question, and she said what she knew to be true. And when you start firing doctors for that, you've crossed the line somewhere.
There is politics involved in this, Ellie. And you knew it would make me unhappy, and that's why you did it, and that's cheap.
I didn't do it to make you unhappy, Dad.
Well, you sure didn't do it to make me happy.
I don't know how to make you happy, Dad. For that, you got to talk to Zoe or Liz.
Okay, let's drop it. Mom gets back first thing in the morning, and we're running a movie tonight if you want to stay over.
I can stay over if you want me to.
Yeah, thanks.
I go out.
That door over there.
Mr. President?
Yeah?
The Labor Secretary.
Send him in. Charlie? Give me just a minute, would you?
Yes, sir.
Our Siwi Odanak, far from the things of man. When Jed first took me to his house, which is 25 miles from anywhere, he said, Our Siwi Odanak, far from the things of man. What a jackass. I'm gonna open the wine. The wine is a 95 Old Vine Zinfandel from Hogg's Cellars, which once belonged to King Boda of Belgium, and his best sip while making anagrams out of the phrase, my husband's an enormous jackass. Amy, what are you looking for?
Anything I can take notes with.
This is an excellent corkscrew. Just slides right in there like power steering, the right tool for the job. The corkscrews suck. Should I call a steward? No, we don't need to call a steward. I'm board certified in thoracic surgery. And a good thing, too. Did Josh have a nutty on the campaign hiring?
He's adjusting.
Well, let him adjust faster, jackass.
Excuse me.
Oh, Donna.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Josh was looking for Amy.
Well, she's right here. Where have you been all night?
Well, it's a little tough to explain, ma'am.
Tougher to explain than secretly prescribing beta-seron?
It turns out I'm not an American citizen, so Secret Service wanted me to talk to INS.
What?
I was born in War Road, Minnesota, only I wasn't because INS just clarified the border and it's now in Manitoba.
You're not an American?
I missed it by 4 miles.
You seem pretty calm about it.
No, I'm very upset. I don't know the words to my national anthem. I've been throwing out Canadian pennies my whole life. I've been making fun of the Queen. We don't do that.
I'm sure it'll all work out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Where are you going?
They've let me into the party now.
Why don't you stay and have some wine with us?
Really?
Yeah.
That's very nice of you. Probably shouldn't drink, though.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Canadian, huh?
Yeah.
You feel funnier?
No, but I am developing a massive inferiority complex.
Ah. Did it come out? Next best thing. It's in the bottle. Well, decant it.
Yeah, now it's a party.
Yeah.
This is a good bottle of wine. It's almost made me forget how much cork I swallowed from the first bottle of wine. I don't understand. It was good corkscrew. Graphite.
TJ.
Stop talking about the corkscrew.
Yeah. Mrs. Bartlett, I wanted to ask you a question, but I'm not sure how.
What?
Well, if the most they can give you is a year's suspension, is it
That big a deal?
Yes.
Yes. I'm a doctor. It's not like changing your major. You, of all people, I mean, women talk about their husbands overshadowing their careers. Mine got eaten.
Your husband got eaten?
My career?
Yeah. Well, I'm on dangling modifier patrol.
What's your problem?
Are you First Lady right now?
What are you talking about?
Sometimes you like to talk, and I think that's great, but sometimes you're Abby and sometimes you're my boss, and I respect both very much, but...
I'm Abby.
Yes, I agree with her. Look, they take this job away from me, I've got nothing. I don't have a cat. I could get one, but I don't have one. Frankly, I'm not wild about cats. I don't hate them, I'm just not. I could learn to like them, I guess if I...
TJ?
You've got a husband and children and a home and a life, and we're talking about 1 year of your not having a medical license.
Jed got censured, and that came with no tangible penalty, and it was a banner headline, he's having a slow, nervous breakdown.
That's different.
Why?
Because it is, and you know it.
Okay, I'm First Lady again.
Okay.
You are First Lady, Abby?
Yes.
And it's not like it's been a detour from healthcare.
No.
What, you've expanded Medicare to cover mammograms, cancer clinical trials. That's money that could have gone into Viagra. You were the one who said no dice to cutting infant nutrition programs, nursing home standards.
There's plenty of stuff left.
Child immunizations, juvenile diabetes.
That's not the point.
What's the point?
I'm a doctor.
Oh, Mrs. Bartlett, for crying out loud, you were also a doctor when your husband said, give me the drugs and don't tell anybody, and you said, okay. Oh, my God. You switched back to First Lady.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Bartlett.
It's okay.
You took the censure standing up, Abby. I was very proud to have voted for him that day.
Me too. Let's get back to the party.
My husband's been having some empty nest problems.
Jerry's been sighing all week. Has the president been sighing?
Please, Jed's been sighing. He's been sighing in all kinds of dead languages.
Those pearls really are beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. Men are not taking this very well. Fellas, you know, we're all having a good time over here.
We're having a good time here, too.
Doing what?
Talking about the too rapid passage of time and, you know, grieving.
He's going to schedule 9 White House visits to France over the next 3 months. He's accepting every invitation. He's going to be a judge at the Cannes Film Festival.
I told you it was this one. That's the day we brought her home from the hospital. Tell me that wasn't a month ago. What the hell's she doing graduating summa cum laude from something?
Remember the ride home from the hospital? Scariest drive of your life?
7 miles an hour with the hazard lights on all the way home.
I don't even remember. Did we have baby seats then, or did we just hold on very tight?
Well, yeah, we had the... Hey, honey, were there baby seats when Jackie was born?
Yes, of course there were baby seats, indoor plumbing.
That was 21 years ago. I can't remember which hotel we stayed at last night.
I wore all of my jewelry to the hospital when George was born. I don't know.
Bartlett? Ma'am. Mrs. Bartlett.
I'm going to make a direct appeal. They'll turn on the cameras when I go into the briefing room, and I'll make a direct appeal.
Ma'am, you can't.
I'm the mother.
You can't.
I don't know why I waited this long. I screwed up.
Let's sit down.
Get away from me.
You can't go in the press room. It'll undermine...
I've seen
She wants to
mothers.
go.
Abby! You can't go in the press room.
I'm going to make a direct appeal. I don't know why I waited this long. I've seen others.
Guys, give her a break.
It can be seen as negotiating with them, and it could undermine the military threats the president is making. And if the goal is to destabilize our government, they're going to see you and know they're succeeding. You can't go in the press room.
I know. I've just seen other mothers do it. I screwed up.
Abby, come sit on my couch for a minute.
I'm gonna call the doctor.
Tell him I want whatever Zoe got.
Come sit on my couch.
I don't know what to do about the military options. Nancy's making good points. Sorry about the confusion in there. I know we practiced that.
We're doing fine.
I don't think so. I need you to tell me now. Do you think she's already dead?
I absolutely do not.
If they show me a picture of her alive and tell me to aim cruise missiles at Tel Aviv, they're counting on the fact that a father
But you wouldn't.
I might.
There are people around you who won't let you.
How about a picture they've got a knife to her throat, get out of Saudi Arabia?
You should think of images like that.
All I can think of are images like that.
Sir.
Leo, please listen to me. Did Fitz give me target recommendations a little while ago?
Yes, sir. He wants to attack the base.
I don't remember having the conversation, and I don't know what targets he wants to hit. Did I green light the targets?
Of course not. Mr. President, no one is expecting you to keep the United States out of a war tonight. Me and Nancy and Fitz are standing right next to you when you get information. You don't need to remember it. And we're standing right next to you when you give orders. You're not going to hurt anybody.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. President.
Stand down, everybody. Where are we?
The Washington Carrier Group will be in position in 3 hours.
We had any further communications from the kidnappers?
No, but the driver's license used to rent the minivan from the Kinkos led us to an apartment complex in Baltimore rented to the same Shahab Khalil. Neighbors say 2 Arab men were living with Khalil. No one's seen them for 3 days.
What about the apartment?
Mail, photographs, numerous fingerprints, even a passport.
They didn't try to cover their tracks?
No, sir. They don't care if we know who they are. They don't plan on being alive in a few days.
What do you want to hit, Admiral?
Khazir training camps.
The Kumaris say those are religious schools.
They're terrorist training camps masquerading as religious schools. We trace Khalil to Zachariah Farouk, leader of the camps.
They close to anything?
Villages, hospitals, a food distribution
We're
center.
suggesting AGM-88 harms. We will hit what we're aiming for.
This is a long-term ally in a highly volatile region.
Bombing Tripoli stopped Libya.
It's more likely to strengthen the resolve of the terrorists and topple a moderate Islamic regime.
If we bomb the camps, don't the kidnappers murder Zoe Bartlet?
Or it sends a message. Kill her or don't, the United States does not negotiate with terrorists.
Our European allies are going to go crazy. They have billions tied up in oil and natural gas pipelines in Kumar.
Screw the Europeans. They've had years to try to convince the Kumaris to get their house in order. What are the chances Zoe Bartlet's still alive?
Hard to say, but I think yes, she probably is. They want to milk this for all it's worth.
Get your people in place, Admiral. We don't go today unless we're provoked. Find her and find her fast. But if Zoe Bartlet turns up dead, I'm gonna blow the hell out of something, and God only knows what happens next.
He's expecting me.
The kid's asking for immunity?
We gave it to him. Dealer is an Algerian friend of his from Paris. They haven't found him yet. Jean-Paul thought he was spiking her drink with ecstasy, not GHB.
Anything else from the kidnappers?
Not yet. But the FBI has traced the driver's license to an apartment in Baltimore. They have names and descriptions of 2 additional suspects and a wealth of new information to work off of.
We need to stall, give the FBI more time. What about the Pakistanis?
Yeah.
You're already doing it?
Excuse me.
She's been on the phone for hours. People never know what to say. She just ends up consoling them.
Everyone's calling. 22 heads of state. The Queen, the Vatican.
I guess people aren't excited about the idea of our children being in play now.
I know you do.
They gave her a number, Leo. I saw it on CNN. My little girl's a case number now. 5 digits.
Danny Kincannon is going to run the Sharif story.
What?
The Sharif story, Danny's running it. Asked if we wanted to comment.
We don't have to. It'll be fine.
No. No comment. So what's Walken gonna do? Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war?
I'm really not at liberty to discuss that with you, sir.
Right, no. I'm sorry, of course.
I should get back. Charlie is out in the hall.
What? I sent him home hours ago.
He didn't go.
New Hampshire, 1st District.
Ken Campbell.
He's stepping out, end of this term. He's got a valve thing. If he doesn't slow down, his heart is just gonna pow like a balloon.
Huh, that's great. I mean, not the... But we'll have a good shot at the seat.
I think so. And I think I'm the man to do it.
To what?
I think with a little help from you fine people, I'm gonna be elected to the United States House of Representatives.
You got a second?
Yeah.
Am I still on Congressional recruitment, or is Angela going to take that over?
How about you two sit like grown-ups, figure it out for yourselves?
I don't care. It's just starting, so...
You getting calls already?
Yeah, a nice young guy from New Hampshire wants to run for Campbell's seat. Married to the boss's daughter.
From New Hampshire? The U.S. Congress, not the state legislature.
No.
And he wants an endorsement?
I spoke to the county chair and the DCCC. They have some doubts.
Did you know about this thing with Lanthorpe Biotech?
They were in a nosedive. I know he tried to pull them out.
He didn't.
DNC wants to run Mitch Clark. He's been in the state legislature 3 terms. He's got ideas. He's a deal maker. This has been a Republican seat for a couple of terms. The party doesn't want to risk it with anybody untried.
Even with our endorsement, he may not make it through the primary.
Then everybody looks like an idiot.
I'll talk to him.
I can talk to him.
No, I'll do it.
Mr. President, you went to Josh, asked his opinion. You gotta respect that. Let Josh take care of it.
Gus has a glove in here somewhere. I know I packed it.
He's hitting already?
Oh, like a pro. He can't catch to save his life, but he can swing, boy.
That's great. So, New Hampshire, 1st District.
Yeah, what you got?
You know a guy named Mitchell Clark?
Sure. Voted for him a couple, 3 times.
The DNC seems to think he's got a chance for Campbell's seat.
Anyone's got a chance. It's a moderate district. It's poachable.
No question. We have a shot, but the party, they're reticent.
It's a nepotism thing, isn't it?
That could be part of it.
Look, it's gonna come up, and it's gonna pass. I mean, if the worst thing they can say about me is that I'm Jed Bartlet's son-in-law, well, once the public gets to know me as an individual, it's an entirely different race.
What about state legislature? It's a place to learn. The president started
Come
there.
on. I run while Jed's in office. I've got a leg up like no 2 terms, 6 terms as a state legislator's ever gonna give me. What kind of fool is gonna let a moment like that sail by?
I don't know.
Here we go. Is that the greatest thing you ever saw? Can't even get my thumb in there.
Yeah.
Look, I really appreciate your concern, I do, but it's gonna be fine. I'm a winner, buddy. I'm gonna win this.
Hey, did you get a chance to talk
Doug?
to Doug?
Yeah.
Did he take it okay?
He did, you know, he really did.
Good. You want to carry my books or something?
I'm not sure he got it.
Got what?
The rejection.
If you didn't take it personal, all the better.
I think he thinks he's still running.
You didn't tell him?
He took it more like a cautionary tale.
Oh, for the love of God.
He's resilient, which isn't such a bad thing in a candidate.
He's going to show up at dinner popping champagne corks, and the president's going to be stuck delivering the news in front of the guy's wife and his mother-in-law. You have to go back and tell him no.
Yeah.
In no uncertain terms.
I'm sorry.
Draw a picture if you need, a ballot in a circle with a line through it.
You're looking for me.
Yeah. How'd it go with the tree?
The lights are on. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, the conversation we had earlier, I think I wasn't clear.
This is awkward for all of you, I know that. But I don't want you to feel
We're
like
asking you not to run.
Who's we?
The DNC, the White House.
The president?
If you want to go forward on your own, the White House can't endorse you.
Wow. Wow.
The New Hampshire House is a great place to get some experience, build a network.
I have a network. I've been working R&D in the New England Tech Corridor for 15 years. I got the CEO of Diginet and the CFO of Gansey McGrath ready to join my finance committee. I got the guy who ran your boss's New Hampshire primary finding me a campaign manager, and I just spent 5 hours last Sunday in a duck blind with the editor of the Manchester Union Leader. I'm running for Congress.
Hal Collins? You met with Hal?
It's a lot of fun to be had with all the nobody's good enough for the president's daughter stuff, but I'm not actually an idiot.
That's...
I'm gonna have to dash. Be late for dinner, but I appreciate your time, Josh. I really do.
Anytime.
Yeah.
And though this body be destroyed, yet shall I see God, whom I shall see for myself. And mine eyes shall behold, and not as a stranger, for none of us liveth to himself, and no man dieth to himself. For if we live unto the Lord. If we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord's. Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord, so saith the Spirit, for they rest from their labors. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank thee that in thy great love thou hast fed us with the spiritual food and drink, the body and blood of thy Son, Jesus Christ, and hast given unto us a taste of thy heavenly banquet. Grant that this sacrament may be unto us a comfort in affliction, and a pledge of our inheritance in that kingdom where there is no death, neither sorrow nor crying, but the fullness of joy with all thy saints. Through Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen. Give rest, O Christ, to thy servant with thy saints, where sorrow and pain are no more, neither sighing, but life everlasting. Thou only art immortal, the creator and maker of mankind, and we are mortal, formed of the earth, and under earth shall we return. For so thou didst ordain when thou createst me, saying, Dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. All go down to the dust, yet, even at the grave, we make our song. Alleluia. 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 Give rest, O Christ, to thy servant with thy saints, for sorrow and pain are no more, neither sighing, but life everlasting. Into thy hands, O merciful Savior, we commend thy servant Leo. Acknowledge, we humbly beseech thee, a sheep of thine own fold, a lamb of thine own flock, a sinner of thine own redeeming. Receive him into the arms of thy mercy, into the blessed rest of everlasting peace, and into the glorious company of the saints in life. Amen. Let us go forth in the name of Christ. Thanks be to God.
was a beautiful service.
I'm just waiting for that press outside to pack up and leave.
You coming to Arlington?
Is that you asking or somebody else? Relax, Charlie. Tell CJ I'm not coming. I'd like to, but I have other commitments.
Sure. I'll walk with you. I don't think a picture of you and me makes the front page of the New York Times. Do you?